Hey guys, it's Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine. Got an email here from Austin from Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Austin asked this question: have you ever seen anything by Todd Hunt? And if so, have you ever seen the M18? Got a surprise for you. Hang tight. All right, welcome back. Back in 2017, I received an email when we were getting ready for the 2018 gear review expeditions, and it was recommended that we reach out to Todd Hunt by many people, and so we did. We were introduced to Todd. I got on the phone with him. We decided to go ahead and invite him and bring some of his wares along with us for that expedition. Todd sent us two knives. One was called the Yuma, which is this guy that I have right here in my hand. One of the most superb knives in this class that I've ever had in my hand. Todd is a great knife maker. The other one was called the Magua, which was a patch knife that I really liked, but Rocky latched onto that from the very beginning, and it's in his possession now, and he keeps it in his kit all the time. He loves that little type of knife, and man, oh man, I wish I'd never ever relinquished that one, because I love Todd's knives. They're great knives. But I was asked in this email, have I ever seen the M18? Well, in January of this year, Todd sent us what I consider to be one of the best bushcraft tools that I have ever seen. Now, we'll talk about this as much as we can, slowly as I can, so I can get all the information for you here that you want. But I'm going to give you the specifications on it first, and I've got to be able to read that. Let me get this here. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me give you the specification on it. The blade length itself is about 10.125 inches. The cutting edge is 9.5 inches. The handle length is 5 3/4 inches. Overall, it's just a shad under 16 inches, or under 18 inches rather. No. 16 inches, okay? The blade material is 01 tool steel, which Todd is one of the very few guys that has mastered that, you know, relatively speaking. You know, it's a very hard steel to work with, but Todd has mastered it. The blade style, they call it a recurve chopper. You know, I guess I could go with that. The blade grind from here to here, from here down to here, is a convex grind, and then from here to here it's a hollow grind. I know it's weird, but I mean, you look at all the features on this knife, you know, this is well thought out. This just isn't some weird shaped knife, but this has been well thought out, every inch of it, including those two different grinds. The blade finish is acid etched. The handle is a canvas micarta. The handle thickness is a little over an inch. Of course, the sheath is a Kydex sheath, and the total weight on this is 1 pound 12 ounces, just a little bit over a pound, which is, to me, for a knife this size, that is really surprising. The M18, I don't know if it's been named after the Claymore mine, but for those of you guys who are in the military, you know, we played around with those M18s, and I love them. They're great for cutting down bush and brush and whatever else might be walking out there whenever you use that dude. All of his knives, all of these are numbered. I've got number 280 in my hands right now. So that's all that. Okay, we're going to put this paper away, and let me just tell you what I've experienced with this bushcraft tool. I call it a knife because others have called it a knife, but really it's more than a knife. It is a bushcraft tool. If you are a bushcrafter, you want to be looking after this dude right now. If you are a survivalist, a prepper, or a homesteader, take a good look at this dude before you go out and buy anything else. Here's my story with the M18. I received it back in January, right? Yeah, okay, shaking her head. Yes, January it arrived, and when I pulled it out of the sheath, I was like, you know, I saw it on a couple videos after people had asked me about it, and I was told that people on Naked and Afraid had used it, so I looked for an episode, and I found an episode where they had it, and they're probably glad that they did. So in January when it arrived, which was winter, and right now it is late October, we're almost into November, so we're into the fall. So I've used this tool from January through October. Okay, I just had it out a few days ago, and I have done everything with this knife, from chopping 6-inch logs that were felled, and I needed, you know, to processing for a fire that night, which I don't really recommend it for that. You know, an axe is better, but if you got one tool, this is the guy. It will cut up to 6 inches, maybe even more if you want to spend half your life doing it, but it's not designed for that. But I've also chopped down 3-inch small saplings for ridge poles, for tripods, for different things like that. Okay, feather sticks. I've used it for tent stakes. I've used it to make smaller tripods as well. Tent poles. Just about everything. I've also used it to skin game. You know, to get the hide off game that I'm processing. I've used it as a cleaver. You know, it's great for that, for chopping up meat right through the bone. Bang. You can quarter up a squirrel, a rabbit, whatever. I've chopped up fish with this. It does a great job. I've also used it as a draw knife. That's really what this hollow grind area is for here, because you've got jimping in 1, 2, 3 places here. You've got this feature here that helps you control, and when you use it as a draw knife this way, that hollow grind just makes quick work of bark. And you can also make you some feather sticks this way, although, you know, there's better ways to do it. But I mean, there's just not anything that I did not throw at this knife that it could not do. I've also used this as a chisel, as a modified chisel, like this. Be able to shape different wood, you know, building a shelter. I use this particular feature right here. It makes notches as well this way. Very, very good, very controlled. And if you want extra control, that's what this lanyard is for. And Todd has graciously put this slip knot on here that gives you the ability to be able to do this, you know, virtually one-handed almost. But by doing this, you get a lot more control. And if you happen to purchase one of these knives, make sure you use this lanyard whenever you're chopping anything heavy, or you're swinging it as a machete, you know, because being that it's over 1 pound, when you're putting a lot of force on that, if you're not careful, you're going to come through, and pretty soon you've got a leg that's halfway chopped off. You know, so you got to be careful when you're doing that. But not only does it give you control with heavy tasks like that, but it also gives you control by tightening up and being able to use that front end that way, or you can actually get more control with your draw knife when you put that lanyard on there. I just love what he does. You know, he's a super thinker, you know. And as I said, when I first saw this Yuma and the Magua, it was like, you know, this guy's got the goods. You know, I've been doing this long enough that I can look at a knife and feel a knife, and I can tell you if the guy gets it or not. You know, because there are guys out there that don't. hobby, somebody told them they ought to be a knife maker, and they start out as a hobbyist, and then they mortgage their house, and poor guys, they don't make it because they just really don't get it. Todd Hunt, he gets it. And the 3 items that we've seen from him says that he gets it. This is a wonderful knife. I could almost do another review on this guy, but we've already done that. We're talking about this today. So Austin, I want to say thank you for asking about this, because we were going to wait until December, because this, well, I can tell you right now. I'm just going to reveal it to you here. The M18 by Todd Hunt has been nominated as the Bushcraft tool of 2019. There have been a few nominations, and this happens to be one of them. And I mean, we got some good nominees, but I got to tell you, this guy here, because of all of its features, its construction, the materials, everything. So, what else can I tell you about this? Oh, let's talk about this little hook right down here. See this right here? Now, when we first got it, we looked all over the place. I didn't call Todd and ask him anything. And the best thing that we could come up with, man, it makes a great bottle opener out in the bush. If you got bottles, okay? Who takes bottles out in the bush? But if we got a cooler, sometimes bottles end up out there with us, especially if we're filming or we're going to be out for more than 3 or 4 days, and we've got a chase vehicle with us. We opened a lot of bottles with this. And then when I called Todd to talk to him about the tool here, I told him, I said, hey man, it's a great idea that you put that bottle opener on. He goes, what bottle opener? And I come to find out from Todd, this is made for pulling hot pots out of the fire. Like I said, he's a genius. I mean, this is pretty cool. The jimping that you're going to find in these 3 areas are strategic. They weren't just thrown out there. The way that you have this swallow right here, and it's soft, that's to keep your hands from being burnt up when you're using this knife. One of the things that I've threatened to do since I've got it is to take about maybe an inch of this and to sharpen that spine, maybe over here in the middle a little bit. I don't know. Just if I want to use it to strike my ferro rod, there you go. But I haven't done it yet because I haven't needed to. But I mean, each time I take this out, I'm just thinking, the world needs to know about this guy. This is a great bushcraft tool. If you're talking about one tool to take out, this is your guy right here. So thank you again, Austin, for that question. Now, as you can see down there, his website is tmhuntcustomknives.com. You can find the phone number on there. There's an email also on there. If you want to know the price, I believe these start out at $475, and it includes the Kydex sheath. You can get all kinds of options. There's all kinds of different options for the scales. I don't know if he's going to modify the main body of the tool itself, but he's a custom guy. I mean, that's what he does. But you can also get leather sheaths. Just a lot of stuff that you can have done, but you got to contact him directly for that. So I appreciate the question. Todd, I appreciate your work, man. You've impressed us from the very, very beginning. And now I hear that you are also doing folding knives. I want to see a couple of those folding knives at some point. Man, I just like your work. And everybody that I've ever introduced to this, I think, what was the count on people that have purchased these that we know of? 12 of the Yumas. I know that for sure. And I appreciate all your work, all the stuff you do, Todd, and you just keep it up, my man. So, Austin, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that black button down there, subscribe to us. When you subscribe to the channel, we put your name in a database, and every month we pull names out to give away free gear. We give away free knives, we give away tools, we give away bush butter, we give away the wood tramp survival fire kit, SFK1, that is been heralded as the best fire kit out there. So, it's beneficial whenever you do that. And all you got to do is email us at tony@backwoodsbiker.com. We'll put your name in that database. And if we draw your name, we'll let you know what you want. So, until next time, you guys ride free, you live free. And as always, you be safe out there, especially if you're handling big old boogers like this. They can do some damage. See ya.